All right, we are back. Let me read a message. It just came across. 1 second, please. Um, all right, Kim, that sounds good. No problem at all. Thanks for the heads up on that. And that should be work out just fine. Let me get back to here. All right. Uh, hopefully everybody had a good quick break. We'll get right into reviewing the midterm now. It's 142 on November 12th, and we have a midterm coming up on Monday, and that would be the 16th. Okay, Monday the 16th. And I think that's the same time or the same date, but only December when the final project is due as well. So anyway, so the midterm, it will have the two parts. The first part will be 15 questions at 375 points possible. So that works out to 25 points per question. So I'm going to give you just a sampling of the questions. I'm not going to give you all the questions. I will tell you that some of the questions were extracted from the pop quiz, and the rest was extracted from lectures and video information that we have gone over. So if a question was asked pertaining to something along the lines, a true or false question, it says site amenities include all nutrients that are added to the soil to improve the pH balance and nitrogen percentage. Is that true or false? Site amenities include all the nutrients that are added to soil to improve the pH balance and nitrogen percentage. Another one that might be asked, what does PSI stand for? It could be a possibility on there. That would be fill in the blank on that. Another one that might come up, and I had mentioned this briefly, but if you don't know the answer to this, you can always Google it. Very easy to find out. What unit of measurement is sod sold by? What unit of measurement is sod sold by? Another question that might come up, multiple choice. In a drawing at 1/4 of an inch equals 1 foot, what does 1/8 of an inch equal? 4.8 feet, 1 foot, 32 feet, half a foot, or none of the above? Another question that might come up, a true or false, topographic analysis of a site is not part of site analysis. True or false? Another one that might come up, there's a couple, I'll let you know there's a couple freebies in there. And another one that might come up, fill in the blank, softscape refer to the live blank elements of landscape. All right, so that is just a general outline of the questions that could be on the midterm. Now to part two. So that's part one. Part two will be a drawing, and that will be 400 points. 400 points for part two. And within that, it's going to be a irrigation design of a front and backyard. Irrigation design of a front and backyard. So on Monday, the 16th, you'll have the entire class period. I won't have any lecture. You'll have the entire class period to do both part 1 and 2. So you might want to review the irrigation requirements. I think it was on slide number 2, what was involved in putting a irrigation plan together. I will actually provide a DWG file for you. And within that, it will have all kinds of information about the site. And within that, you will, what I would advise to do is copy and paste, probably turn on all the layers that I have and copy and paste that into a saved drawing. When I say saved drawing, the first thing you would do is open your master title block, because the requirement would be to submit part 2 of the midterm as a DWG and one PDF. And it's going to be one sheet for the sprinkler design system, which will also include a table in it. All right, and so I would open up your, this is a suggestion, you can do it any way you want, but I think the easiest way is open your master title block and then have the base file that I'm going to give you, a DWG file, and paste that into your master title block and do a save as midterm sprinkler or irrigation design. And then I'll have directions on what I just said. The irrigation design, all the information will be in the base drawing. And then when you're completed, you'll fill out a table, and the table will consist of sprinkler heads, calling out the different sprinkler head patterns, half, full, quarter, the different drip lines, and then the pipe diameter and length, and the length of each different size. I'll show you the location of the water meter on the site. I'll show you the location of the main line to the house of water. And then you'll go ahead and design from there. So that will be 2 parts again. And I already forgot the, see, so the 375 points on part 1 and 400 points on part 2. So I hear a lot of questions popping up in there, and so I'll go over to that. But that is as much as I'm going to give you on the midterm. Again, it will start immediately after I give you the directions on Monday, so make sure you're here on time. If you're not able to make Monday's class, then you'll have to arrange with me at what time you can take the exam. And both parts will be open. I'll have them both open at the same time, and you will have 2 hours and 50 minutes. I'm sorry, that won't work out right. We'll have the one day, the one class period, which will equal 2 hours and 50 minutes for both part 1 and 2 to complete that. So it will close after you open it, open part 1 and part 2. It will close at the end of class. So you want to make sure you're on time for class. And if you can't make class, then you'll have to arrange for me to unlock it for you at a specific day and a specific time for a length, the same length of time. All right, let me go over to the chat questions here. And let me get caught up to James Meek says, so we're making a drawing for part 2. Yes, part 2 is a drawing, yes, in CAD. Iman says, when the video will be available to see it again. I don't know exact time. It usually takes about 45 minutes after class is finished for it to process and everything. So, Iman, I'm sure you're talking about the recording on here. So that's one advantage you guys have. I mean, I just went over some of the questions and the midterm, and you can review that, so that will help you through the midterm. So that's the advantage that you have over face-to-face, because you don't have the recording to go back to. All right. Iman says, the second part of her statement, part 2 will be our backyard. No. It's part 2 will be a new site that I have imported and designed for you to develop an irrigation plan. So no, it will not be your backyard. All right, anything else? All right. So that will conclude, and let me just double check my notes, make sure I hit everything today. Again, a reminder on registration. If you haven't registered, make sure you get registered. We talked about the detail sheet. We talked about the 2 announcements that I've sent out. And we talked about the Adobe email. Both the one from James McGinn and the one from our IT person that I forwarded over to you just before class started. And as of Sunday at 5 a.m., packet 2 will release, and with that information, so if you want to review that, it will have the PowerPoints on there, and we'll be talking about the detail sheet as per the video. Let's see, and I think that's it, and I want to backtrack on one statement I just made about next week. I said a detail sheet, and let me, so I don't lie to you completely all the time. And let me go to lessons, and packet 5 will be, next week we'll be talking about codes and standards and cost estimates, which that will apply to sheet number 6, which will be the table sheet. So we're getting close to wrapping this up in week 5, and I think we have one other week of entertainment coming ahead. And if you don't mind, I'll just take a look and see what we have in the works. Just looking ahead a little bit. I don't know if you guys want to look ahead that far or not, but I can kind of give you an idea. It also will give me an idea of what I'm going to plan out. So week 5, we have long landscape class. Week 5, we have the codes and standards, which will be next week, and cost estimates we'll talk about. And then 6, project specifications and a detail sheet. I'll be on week number 6. And that will think. And then week 7, we're just going to recap the sheet set, make sure everybody's on track for that. So that's kind of what we have planned out for the next weeks after we get back, next week, and then after we get back from where? From Thanksgiving break, which I'm sure you all are looking for. Let's see. Back up here a little bit. James McGinn says, I will rewatch to catch up. It came in and out for you. Yeah, that's what the beauty of that is for, James, as the recording. Larry says, you're scaring me, Mr. Taft. Oh, come on, Larry. You know it. You can handle it. Look at the bright side of this, everybody. You got a lot of opportunity to gain some ground on points in the midterm. Look at the bright side. I know what you're all thinking. I'm probably putting in the chat box in 2 seconds, but look at the bright side. Study for it, review. I gave you a good heads up of what's going on, and it looks like I might be losing connection here. James Meek said, lots of reviewing time for the midterm. I will be busy with your class this weekend. All right. Thank you for dedicating yourself. All right. Anything else? All right, if there's nothing else, it is 1:55. I will be here till 3:15. No, I'm not going to answer any questions about the midterm specifically. We're done with the review on that. If you have any other questions about the projects, let me know. I'll be here till 3:15. I may duck out for a few minutes to get a little more to eat, as those carrot sticks didn't quite do it for me. Larry, go right ahead.
I found a sprinkler pop-up head that you can program, like 25 degrees to
Wow.
360.
Oh, yeah. Angle.
Yeah,
Okay, angle. Yes.
yeah, not program, but adjust. Yeah.
You got me all
So
excited there. My gosh.
yeah, I forgot what I was doing.
Okay.
I'm
Yes,
going to use
those
that
are
on all of
adjustable heads. Yes, you can, but you still have to call out the pattern what you're having on. So what you'll
them.
do on that case, Larry, is put adjustable head, half pattern, quarter pattern. And it doesn't have to be exact. I mean, if you want to get down to, you could measure the angle of, say, the sidewalk, and maybe it's a 30-degree where it meets. Then you can put, just measure it, and then you can put adjustable 30-degree spray pattern. But you still
Uh,
have to call out the pattern, want to spray on it. But yeah, good point on that. They do make those. I've used them in a couple areas. I get soaking wet trying to adjust the pattern on it. But it's good in some really weird situations. Those are really good. Good point, Larry. Let's see. Can you, Iman says, can you don't restrict PowerPoints for midterm? Oh, the use of PowerPoints. Usually I don't accept those. Uh, Usually it's just open notes. And Iman, I'm going to have to think about that one because you can study off of those, Iman. They're not limited on that. But for the actual midterm, no, it would not be PowerPoints available. Thank you for asking that. It will just be open notes, open textbook. And I trust you guys not to open Google or anything like that, but open textbook and open notes, but not open PowerPoints. Thanks for asking that, Iman. I appreciate that. All right. Anything else out there before I let you guys go into lab time? We have a good hour and 15 minutes. I will be here. I do have a meeting, I think at 3:30, I think it was. So I'll have to scoot right out at 3:15. But I will be here till then for lab. And if I don't talk to you, have a great weekend. And if you do have questions, I'll be here till 3:15. Thanks so much. This has been a great week. I've really enjoyed it. And you guys are great. Brian says just two drawings due for Monday. I think, Brian, I didn't review the assignment page. Let me go back to packet 4, open up packet 4. Assignment 1 is the front yard irrigation. Assignment 2 is the front yard making blocks, and that's the only two. You're correct, Brian. Absolutely. If you guys ever need to check it, just look at the assignment page. It's there for you. All right. Anything else before I stop the recording? Good questions, good comments, good statements. You guys are great. Really enjoying the class. Hope you are too. All right. I'll sign off for now, but I will be here. I'm going to close the mic, stop the recording, stop the camera. But I will be here if you have questions. I'll step out for a second to get some more carrots. Jesse said, for our irrigation callouts, do we have to have exact model names? No. Valves? No. Backflow? No. Valve boxes? No. You don't have to have model names. Now, Jesse, great question. So if you were anticipating doing this project in future, it doesn't hurt to have specific names, but that entails a lot of research. Here's what happens, because between Toro and why did my mind just go blank? Rainbird, and there's a third one that's very popular, and it's not coming to me right now. There's about 3 models of different type of irrigation, and then you get into different materials. You get the pop-up with plastic, pop-up with brass heads, all brass fixtures, all plastic. Different rises, pop up to 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch. So with that said, Jesse, if you intend to do it in the future, you probably have to do a little research, but it doesn't hurt to call out a specific brand. There again, it's in the pricing too and efficiency. So it's a lot of research. So Jesse, to answer your question, no, you do not have to call out the brand names. All right, for any of that. Great question. Thank you, Jesse. Larry says Orbit. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Orbit is the other one. Rainbird, Orbit, and Toro are some other ones. All right. Good statements. That's helping everybody, guys, including me, the recall, getting the cobwebs out. Thank you guys for that. All right. Talk to you in a bit.